Florida State and what it's going to look like for them after this Friday night game against Virginia. The hard count herald reads Noles roll against Virginia, setting up a battle for the supremacy in the ACC against Miami. So I've already predicted I think Florida State is going to beat Virginia. All right? Now, the big reason why that's important, Florida State and that win against Alabama was awesome, but Noles fans, those of you that watch the show, are going to get tired of hearing me say this, but I'm going to say it again. It's not hard to get up for the Bama game. That logo, that hype around that team, you're at home, you're a 2-touchdown dog, all those things. If you can't get up for the Bama game, you don't have a pulse. But it's different now when you go on a Friday night to Charlottesville, Virginia, and you're a touchdown favorite on the road, and it's not the typical routine that you have. Like, can you handle the hype is my biggest question here for Florida State. So I'm assuming now that Florida State will go to Virginia. I'm predicting them to win that game. I think it's a backdoor cover situation. And so your answer out of that game, if you're a Florida State fan, is yes, we can handle our hype. We haven't been overserved our hype. We can handle it just fine. We're good. We're still able to, walk in a straight line, all those things. So the reason why that's important is because that then tells me that it is truly a different culture than what you had a year ago. You're saying, JD, no, that's a different culture. Last year's culture wouldn't be Alabama. I hear you. But if you can beat Alabama and then go win on the road on a Friday night against Virginia, I'm saying, okay, the toxicity that held y'all down a year ago is, if it exists at all within the program, it doesn't exist to the point where it's going to force you to lose a game you shouldn't lose on a weekday. All right? And with that being the case, it tells me it is truly a new team, which then means the on-field factor for Florida State is more trustworthy. I don't have to worry about the spot so much. I don't have to worry about what happened in week 1 or the week before or the next week. You can handle yourself. You're good to go because the on-field product for Florida State is phenomenal to this point. Like, you hung 31 on Bama, and they're not just beating these other teams they're playing that are a little bit of a lesser caliber. Like, they're blowing the doors off of them, scoring 77 and 66 against Kent State and East Texas A&M. Allowed 13 total points combined in those 2 games. Like, I understand it's not nearly at all the caliber of opponent they're going to play here the rest of the way, but to see them like legitimately do what they're doing offensively, to be that potent offensively, that tells me a lot about what the on-field product is, and I think it's as impressive as anything else in the ACC. So that then sets up an awesome matchup against Miami. And this is going to be great. Now, I understand Georgia Tech, you're still absolutely in the conversation. To me, the talent level of a Florida State and the Miami is still, I think, the best in the ACC relative to teams in the ACC title hunt. I'm not factoring in Clemson right now. Sorry, Clemson, you did it to yourself. But the thing that would then mean is Florida State and Miami is going to feel like it should when they play. Now, full transparency, I wasn't around for when those matchups were like blockbuster kind of vibe. I was around, but I wasn't really around like consciously as a college football fan. So for me, being able to see Florida State and Miami playing as 2 top 10 teams, dare I say 2 top 5 teams, depending on how this whole thing breaks this coming weekend across the college football world, that's going to be awesome. Like, us as college football fans will win because that product will be spotlight or spotlit in the state of Florida. That game will have 2 iconic brands at that point in time operating at the peak of their powers at this point in the college football season. All of the cinema around that game will be where it's supposed to be, where it has historically been for those 2 teams. And I'm here for that. Now, if you're a Florida State fan, the opportunity there is the recruiting juice that's available to you if you win that game. Miami won the state last year. Okay, so if you go beat the team that won the state, and you do it in a somewhat convincing fashion, you do it at your place now with everyone watching, I'm assuming College Game Day will be there, think about the way that would help shift the narrative to where it was a year ago. A year ago, it was like 2-10. Is Mike Norvell going to be there for an extended period of time? Like, all those things are being said. But if you go beat Miami, and we'll see what Miami is the rest of the way. I happen to think they're going to be a team that makes the college football playoff. So you own your own path in the ACC, obviously, with a win like that. But the way that you can pitch that to recruits, I'm assuming right now that Florida State is going to be favored when they play Florida. I don't think that's a stretch. But if you beat Miami and set up a game like that against Florida at the end of the year, and you can recruit the rest of the college football season with that in your back pocket, I think that matters. Because if you can be the team in the state of Florida with how much talent is there, you're set up to go win national championships. Now, that's several moves away from winning this game, but you understand what I'm saying. That would be huge for the overall revival of recruiting juice from Mike Norvell at the high school level with the win over Miami. Still got to do it. We still got to beat Virginia. But I think them getting that win on the road at night, getting that toxicity out of what last year's program was, I think that's huge for Florida State. And I love the momentum that would create for them going forward here on the recruiting trail. So the Hard Count Herald has got Florida State setting up a big matchup with Miami with a win over Virginia on the road at night on a weekday.